Hey everyone, welcome to Slam Fire Radio, episode 297 for March 28th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly.
And I'm Adriel.
And that's it.
For now. For now.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. Random, like we just put the link on the internet, so now anyone could just join up and you know,
maybe
we'll see what kind of stragglers come in. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I don't think Trevor's going to join us though. He said probably.
Maybe.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah. He was getting a new vehicle, I think. Some sort of pink station wagon.
He was going to get a pink Cadillac, he said.
Pink Cadillac station wagon?
And it's going to blare that song. Pink Cadillac. No, you don't want to hear me sing. No.
I don't even know what song it's singing.
Who sings that? Aretha Franklin? No, it's not Aretha Franklin.
Something old. I don't know.
Yes. Thank you. You're replacing Trevor. I appreciate that.
I felt the need. No one else was going to do it. I had to.
Yeah, no. Speaking of which, I'm going to be another year older this weekend. So maybe I am old. No, I'm not. Not old. As long as I keep saying
not that old.
I'm old enough. Why don't we talk about what we did in guns? What we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Centre, Canada's premier firearms retailer. You notice how I segued right into that one after I got done talking about how old I am.
Mm-hmm.
Stag 10 upper and lower combo. It's back in stock, $659. So this comes with the upper receiver assembly. It includes the Picatinny rail that's on the top, the dust cover, and also it has the installed forward assist. The Stag 10 lower receiver includes installed lower Bart's kit. The upper receiver has the DPMS high profile tang height of .210. It uses the same barrel nut thread as the DPMS and accepts DPMS barrels, accepts Stag, Armalite, and DPMS bolt carrier groups, and also charging handles. The lower receiver
but not the V2 charging handle or the V2 barrel. DPMS made a different AR-10 that's got like AR-15 sized components. So the barrel extension is quite a bit smaller on their G2, and I think the charging handle is different as well. So if you're making a Stag 10, make sure you're not getting the G2
Get
stuff.
The right one.
That's not the right stuff. And this is again one of those areas with an AR-10 where you've got to watch out because there's a bunch of different specs out there. There's Armalite AR-10 to some parts, DPMS parts, and then DPMS G2.
Perfect. It goes on to say that the lower receiver will accept any standard DPMS magazine, buffer, and buffer spring. It will also work on AR-15 stock or any AR-15 stock. So awesome. $659. That's not bad.
It's you're actually getting a whole bunch of the stuff you need in those. It's not just a straight stripped upper and lower. That's got a bunch of stuff in it. So you're getting a bunch of stuff you need, and then pick a barrel, whatever barrel you want, whether it's an expensive, really nice one or an inexpensive one.
Or why don't you drop by International Barrels and say hi to Ryan and tell him to send you a barrel?
I mean, the thing about a barrel is that the difference between like an okay, like mediocre barrel and like a really nice barrel is like $200.
Yep.
You're going to spend $200 on a barrel or $400 on a barrel and get an Amazeballs barrel. Get the Amazeballs barrel, right? Because that's where all the accuracy on these things comes from is a really nice barrel. So that's the way I would go. I would go, IBI barrel, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, maybe 6.5. I like 6.5.
You need more hair for that.
And more flannel. I need more flannel for that.
Yes, you need more flannel, more hair.
I mean, I could grow a mustache and wax the tips on it, probably. Get a little bit more hipster for the 6.5 Creedmoor.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
No. Why don't you tell us what you did in guns this week, Adriel?
I went and shot a 3-gun match this
week.
weekend.
How'd you do?
It was fun. It was muddy. I got first.
Yay!
Yeah, it was. And the thing is, this is like our first match of the year. I think I got first because there's a bunch of other really good shooters there that had gun issues, like stuff they've mucked with over the winter, or maybe they didn't like get it out and try it and kind of warm their guns up and make sure that they're all reliable. So a bunch of the other really good shooters had jams and that kind of thing. I didn't really. I had one double feed with my AR, but other than that, everything else was good. So
Air was running fine.
yeah, except for the one double feed.
Okay.
I don't really know why it did that. The thing is, I cleared it too fast to even like pay attention to what was going on.
Okay.
Like I can't troubleshoot that kind of stuff in a match because I'm like he-manning the gun and flinging it around until it works again.
Did you videotape it?
I got head cam footage and third person, and I comboed the two for the video so that you can kind of see third person what's going on and head cam what's going on. Now, my head cam, I haven't really been happy with the footage I've been getting out of it, and I've been like, man, I gotta get a new GoPro. I got like a fake one here, this Xiaomi here, and it's like the quality's not very good. But then I was like thinking about it, and it's only bad when you move a lot. And I was talking to a buddy of mine on Discord, and he's like, you know what? You probably need your memory card probably just can't handle all the data, so you need a better memory card that handles more faster data. So I got a new card, now it works fine. Yeah, so next time I think I'm going to do the same thing. I really like the third person to first, but what I might do next time is switch between the two. So that when the third person view is interesting, I'll go third person, and when the first person's interesting, I'll swap over to that one, kind of cameraman-esque kind of a thing. Yeah, but first person is interesting when you're seeing like a new target array or something like that, or if there's a jam. If there's a jam, it's interesting to kind of see. Oh, you look down. What were your operations? Did you examine the port first before you started trying to caveman it and tap rack, right?
Yep.
So that's what I did. Is I caveman and tap racked, and I induced the double feed in my AR, and I could have, I don't know, done something else. Let's see here. It was a minimal movement match because of the mud and the snow, and because it's so early in the year.
How many stages were there?
4 stages.
4? Okay.
Yeah, 2 shotgun, which are really quick little shotgun stages. 1 stage on the 50 and 1 stage on the 100 meter.
Okay. And what I did see, you sent us, so I knew that you came first. You sent us a snapshot or a picture of how you placed, and you really smoked the other guys.
I had a good match. I had a really good match. I ran those Solomon Crossfires, speed crosses. I ran those things. They were waterproof. They're waterproof. I ran them in like mud and water, and my feet were wet not wet, dry the whole day. Yeah. So all good. Usually I just wear rubber boots, but my rubber boots cause my feet to sweat because they're like neoprene and they soak in all the heat, and then my feet get cold and sweaty and nasty. And whereas these Solomons did a good job of breathing, and grip was better too. Good. My rubber boots are kind of like they've got a grip on the bottom, but not fantastic, like athletic running around, or as athletic as I am. Let's see. I shot slugs through a full choke.
You did.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you under the impression that that's a bad thing, or it's okay?
I was under the impression that it was a bad thing.
Some manufacturers say don't do it, right? Some of them say, hey, don't shoot slugs. So me, modified choke only, but it'll work. At least it'll work in my shotgun. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the slug manufacturers make their slugs in a way that they can be shot in up to a full choke, but the accuracy is going to be terrible, right? We were shooting at 50 yards, so I didn't really care. I needed the full choke for something else. We were making some long range shots on steel, so I needed the full choke to keep my bird shot nice and tight. Turns out I didn't really need it. I could have just run modified. Oh, whatever. It worked. Yeah. And my pistol was all good, so I think I'm going to run that Shadow 2 for the rest of the year. It's
you think so?
Yeah. The weight was really good. The trigger pull is really short, and there was a couple times when I was shooting the pistol where it's like, yep, this is better. Okay. This is better than the Glock. And now with the magwell, it just eats everything. So,
have you looked at the frame still? You're inspecting every time you run with it?
No.
No. Okay.
I'll look at it again soon. Because you got to clean it really well, right? So if I take it out to a match and I shoot I don't know how many rounds, 50 rounds, 60 rounds kind of a thing in a match. Like that's not enough to, I need to like run a lot of rounds through that thing and then check it out, because the people that I know had the frames crack on those things, it was right around 10,000 rounds, 20,000 rounds kind of a thing.
You're not close to that.
I'm getting there. There. Yeah. Because I've done a lot of practicing with that thing during the winter. That's the gun I was using to shoot those pistol matches with.
Okay.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to keep shooting it, which means
like
I don't really know if I need the Glock now, the Glock 34. So I might sell that. I've also got a Glock 17 I don't really need. And a bunch of other stuff I don't really need. I need to like move some guns.
Welcome to Slamfire Radio's Trader Joe's. I think Trevor has to come on too. I think he was talking about selling some stuff too.
Yeah, making some room for truck payments.
Yes.
I know I got car payments because I got a car too.
Yeah, everybody's getting new cars.
And then this came in the mail. So I did a review of some Nanook cases, and they sent me the 903, which is like their smallest big case. They have like the nano sizes ones, which are small. These are like meaty, beefy size, but still too small for a pistol, I think.
What are you going to put in there?
I don't know. They sent it to me without me like thinking of,
sandwich.
Oh, it's perfect for my phone. See, check that out. I could put my phone in this thing, and it would be very well padded. Or I could leave it in my pocket and not care. I'll probably do that one. My phone's waterproof too. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use it for.
Kids, take it to school as a lunchbox.
This is the your lunch is going to be fine when you get to school. Yeah, very reliable, very beefy lunchbox, and very identifiable too.
It's cool. It's yellow.
Yeah. Well, they asked me what color I wanted, and I wanted the same as my other pistol case there, the yellow one.
Yellow?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I think that's about it for me. I'm just kind of deciding on whether to continue the 22 shooting this weekend. I might head out and do 2 days of 22 shooting.
How much do you think you still have left?
I think probably like 2,000 rounds still left.
Okay, so it's going to be at least 2 days.
At least 2 days.
Maybe
I think I can do 2,000 in 2 days, but those are long days of shooting. Yep. I did all the Marlin 795 shooting.
How'd that go? Or do you want to wait till the?
I was a little bit disappointed with the accuracy out of it, but I think that's like I've been shooting bolt action precision rim fires, and to go to a 22, I thought it would be closer. I thought like maybe I'll get a load that's like really close to it, and it'll be just as good. And no, that was not the case. The Noriko and the Ruger precision rimfire shot better than the Marlin on every kind of ammo, pretty much, except for that federal stuff that the Ruger didn't like. But no, not even close.
That was like spraying and praying.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe I'll go shoot some 22s this weekend. I'm not quite sure. What about you?
I went to the range finally. I went on Sunday. I went and took a couple of new shooters. Guy from work. So he bid on a United Way thing. Yes, I know, United Way. Let's not go there. He bid on me taking somebody to the range. So for 2 people, it was 2 people. So he bought it for his son and his daughter. I thought they were twins. They're not twins. One's 23. The daughter's 23, and the son was 15. Or is 15. Well, actually, technically, he turned 16 yesterday, so I guess he was 15 at the time when he was shooting. Took them to the range, and they got to try pistols. They've never shot pistols before. The daughter, she had shot 308 once before, but that's it. The son had shot a 12 gauge shotgun. That's about it. So they got to try out the M&P. I took out 22 caliber pistol, as well as 9mm. So they didn't get to shoot. They didn't get to shoot 45 ACP or anything else, or 357. It was just the basics. So
they're not missing anything.
Yeah.
I think most people, the depth on one is better than like a whole, like bringing out like 20 firearms for them.
Right. So they started off with a 22, then they moved up to the CZ, and they really, really liked that one. And then they also got to try the Glock, and they decided that they liked the CZ best. And then they were able to shoot a 12 gauge shotgun. So I brought out a Benelli for them to try out, and so it's pump action. And then the dad brought also his shotgun as well that he had just bought, like it was still in the box. So they got to try that out, and they really enjoyed that. And then I gave them my Maple Seed rifle, which they really, really enjoyed. And then they also gave them the Ruger Precision Rimfire as well, and they didn't like that so much. And then I said, okay, and we're going to end the day in a great way. So I gave them the ACR to shoot. They all really, really enjoyed it. So they had a great time.
The thing that's interesting about new shooters is that they can identify usable guns, like highly ergonomic firearms, right? So the fact that they preferred the Shadow over the Glock, or they preferred the your 1022, it's like, yeah, those are ergonomic pistols that are great to shoot.
Yep, that's everything that I like. They really liked, just because it's simple, easy. They really, really enjoyed. They're both really good pistol shooters, by the way. They really enjoyed the CZ because of the fact that it was heavy, and it brought them basically back to where they were aiming again right away. So I ran it.
Trigger's fantastic.
And the trigger's fantastic. What I did was I did the standard. So I familiarized them with the guns, gave them the opportunity to pick them up, practice pulling the trigger back, and then I prepped a magazine for them, so I gave them 1 round. They shot that just to get the feel of it, and then I gave them 3 and then 5, and so they felt comfortable. And by the time we did, so they were shooting the ACR, which they loved, but then we went back and they said they would like to shoot a couple more rounds of pistols, so we started shooting pistols again. We were there for almost 4 hours.
Whoa, so, that's long.
Yeah, like
that includes familiarization, though, right? Yeah,
it was familiarization. Yeah. It didn't feel like 4 hours for them. They loved it. They helped me set up and tear down as well, because of the fact that I'm the only one there, and I had to wait for them and then sign them in. And so the 4 hours included set up and tear down as well. So it was fun. I really, really enjoyed it. And I got to shoot as well after. So it was fun. I had no problems with my 1022. Remember I told you I had to replace the extractor on it? Yes? No?
Yes. Yep. I remember. Yep.
Okay. So I had no problems, no extraction issues on it whatsoever. It's firing great. And also, I was using that ammo, the X Metal, 147 grain X Metal, the 9mm that I had some issues with. I thought it was the CZ Shadow. Maybe that I had to replace the springs in the CZ Shadow, but I don't, because I was just having the same issues with the Glock as well. So it's
what was the issue?
So basically, you'd pull the trigger, nothing had happened. It's almost like a light primer strike.
Was it out of battery? Was a slide slightly to the rear?
Nope, just wouldn't fire. So I'd have to pull the trigger twice, and then it'd fire. So I was having it both with the CZ Shadow, and I was having it with the
Glock.
With the Glock.
Hard primer? Man, that's weird. That's weird.
So I thought originally it was the springs on the CZ Shadow, but it's not. It's the ammo. It's not the guns. So
yeah, good practice ammo, right? Yep. It's not a bad thing to have ammo that's fine otherwise, but every once in a while it just doesn't fire, and it gives you a type 1. Is it type 1 click? I don't know. One of those.
Yeah. It was fine. It happened, I don't know, 6 or 7 times. They said, try it again. And
that's it. That's enough to be a respectable ball and dummy drill.
Yep. And that's exactly it.
You get to see the flinches, right? Oh, did you see that? I meant to do that. I gave you guys ammo that was like,
So we did that. It was exactly that. They were shooting the Shadow, and it was down into the left, and I'm going, okay, you're anticipating the flinch. We can see it. And so when there was a round that came through that didn't actually go off, you could see the flinch. So I said, okay, it was exactly that. I said, okay, slow and steady pull back, 1,000, 2, 1,000, and the shooting improved after that. So they could see it. So it was good. It was a good learning experience for them.
Sweet.
They want to come back. There's somebody else at work that was asking if I'd take his daughter and his wife out. So I said, sure, let me know. We're going to look at some dates. So
cool. Yeah. Great way of getting new people in and getting more supporters.
Yeah, that's exactly it. What else did I do? Oh, did you have a chance to watch this video with Jordan and Trevor?
I watched parts of it. I like kind of skipped back and forth on it.
Yeah. Well, I watched the whole thing, so it was really good. Jordan Bonaparte he was on 2 weeks ago, was it? I think 2 weeks ago. He was from the Nighttime Podcast.
Yeah, 2 weeks, yeah.
So he was down in Halifax with Trevor, or Trevor was down there with Jordan, and they went to the range and they used the two. So they used the shotgun and they also used the rifle that were going to be used in the shopping mall massacre that did not happen, thankfully. And it was a good video to watch. I posted it on the Facebook page, so everybody should go over there and have a look at it. But Jordan has a better understanding about the fact that it probably wouldn't have been a massacre because just loading the rifle, and because it was a lever action as well, and the kick to both, not only the rifle but the shotgun as well. The shotgun it had a little bit of a kick to it, so he goes, oh, yeah, he fired one, and he goes, I don't know if he was prepared for it. Oh, so Trevor said, okay, so you got 25 shells here. He goes, do you think you'll do it? He goes, no. 1, maybe 2. But it's a good video to watch. Yeah, go on over and watch it. And also tune into the Nighttime Podcast as well, because it's very interesting stuff. I was listening to the podcast Trevor was on it last week. So it's he's giving his expertise on.
I mean, the podcast is probably fantastic other than that one episode then.
The podcast is fantastic. It's all over the place, though. He talks about crime. He talks about missing people. He talks about shootings. He talks about aliens. He talks about Oak Island. I think that's how Trevor caught on to him. The whole Oak Island thing. So I like it. I enjoy it. I'm a Patreon-y with him now.
Cool.
Yeah. So the last thing I've been doing, and maybe we should, I don't know, we'll do it now instead of in upcoming events. Last thing I've been doing is every evening, we've been working on Maple Seed, firming things up, like the schedule. So everything is pretty much firmed up, and we're going to be looking at opening up registrations for our events for the whole entire year. I think we're going to release them all at once. So we should be sending out notifications soon. So sign up. And I get about 20 to 30 emails a day about, are you having an event soon? So I've been answering those as well. So spending a lot of time.
At the 3-gun match, I had a couple of people saying, like, when's this Maple Seed thing going on? Like, I want to get in on that. So a lot of demand for it.
We will be at Chaz.
Mm-hmm.
A couple times.
Whether they can get in or not.
We're doing a ladies' seed there as well.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
So we've been negotiating with a couple of ranges because of the fact they wanted us. I have to say it. There's more demand than there is capability right now. So I apologize to those that we can't get to. Excuse me. And we're hoping that will change within the next year to 2 years, that we'll be able to have more localized events as well. So, like, for example,
This is your what, like third year?
This is our third year.
Third year.
We're going into our third year.
I think it's important to like keep the scale of this in mind, right? This is your third year.
Right.
You guys are doing a ton of events. It's like
this year
boatload of
like
events.
We're going to be doing 50.
Like 50. So imagine like you and some buddies taking on a new thing that doesn't exist in Canada. And by your third year, you're going to do 50 across the country.
Correct.
This is like incredible
Yeah.
how far you guys are taking this. So
Yeah.
but make sure you get lots of IoTs and other trainers going so that you guys don't burn out, because as incredible as you guys are doing right now, at this pace, you guys will burn out on it.
So that's why we're really we're pushing. We're pushing for involvement. We're going to be really recruiting this year with respect to instructors. So if you shoot a Rifleman score, expect us to ask you to be an instructor.
Just put in the fine print. By the way, if you score a Rifleman, you're signed up as an IoT. So,
so we have great instructors in all across the country. But we would like them to become full instructors so that, so again, it's just Mario, Rick, Kevin, myself, and Stacy that are senior instructors. So what that means is one or two of us really, although we are doing some events with one senior instructor and the rest are instructors in training. So that means that right now we still have to go to all of these events. So if we're having 50 events, that means that we have to be there. Next year, what we're looking at is, again, us, but maybe only one of us going at a time to these events. And then our instructors will be more better.
The support, and you guys will be able to just hand over most of that stuff. You'll be there in a supervisory role, and everyone else will be just doing the stuff.
We will be in a supervisory role. That's it. You can buy us drinks later. We would love that. That we'll just go and hang out and supervise. You guys are doing all the work.
What would be interesting is if you guys had stashes across the country of enough kit to go out with.
So that's the other thing that we've been kind of talking about. So we have our trailer, and we have the trailer here, but it'd be nice to be able to have a trailer in Alberta or Saskatchewan, and then a more centralized location, and have one in Eastern Canada as well. But we are also doing shoot boxes as well. So we're going to prepare a box and mail it out to the range, and it'll be there for us when we get there.
Yeah. So I mean, like, there's targets. There's like a target string, but like a lot of this stuff is like dollar store stuff, right? It's just a matter of having it all. Yeah, and knowing how to use it, knowing how to deploy it.
Yeah, we're really low budget.
Yeah, I made one of those dollar store target strings for my 22 testing, and it was amazing because I got 10 targets on a line, super quick, right?
Yep,
super quick to replace, put new ones up. Yeah.
And that whole system, that we didn't come up with that first. We had. This is another revolution, and
great artists steal.
Yeah,
good artists copy, great artists steal.
So we stole an idea, but we reformatted it so it works better. So it's more better.
Still not bulletproof, though.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not. Well, some people shoot through it, like Tim Crosnow down in the US. Okay. Why don't we talk about upcoming events? Because I'm all done with what I did in Guns this week. Do you want to talk about 3 Guns, and then I'll talk about the New Brunswick Sportsman Show?
Yeah, I'll talk about 3 Gun.
Okay.
Berta.
That's what it is.
The last 3 Gun match in the country was at Chaz. That was last weekend. The next 3 Gun in Canada is also at Chaz, April 13th. Also, April 13th, Lethbridge will be running a 3 Gun match at the CCSC. BTSA will be running a match on April 14th. Actually, I don't know if that's a match or if that's a practice, but April 14th. Grand Prairie is going to be running a match on April 20th, as well as Lakeland 3 Gun. BTSA Multi-Gun is April 28th. Medicine Hat is May 4th. Oh, wait, we got one that's not Alberta. Northwest 3 Gun will be at Houston. You might as well be in Alberta, though, or Northern BC, because that's like it's basically separated from. Like, it would be faster to get there from Alberta than it would be from Lower Mainland. Oh, that's May 4th. May 4th as well. There will be another match at Lakeland 3 Gun, and then BTSA on May 5th. So, Alberta is where you want to be for your 3 Gun. I was thinking about, like, I was wondering if there are more 3-gun shooters here than there are IPSC shooters. I think there's about 400 or 500 IPSC shooters. I'm not sure on 3-gun. Like our matches are about 70 shooters and they fill up like that.
Like quickly.
Yeah, so I bet we've got 120 to 150 shooters in the Edmonton area here. There's probably a similar number in Calgary, and then Peace River and Lethbridge and Medicine Hat probably have about 30 to 50 each. So we're probably there. We probably have more 3-gun shooters here than IPSC shooters.
Yeah, you also have more 3-gun running than across
matches. Oh yeah. There's there's an average of 4 a month, 4 plus a month. I thought I calculated this. It was like 2 events a weekend or something like that. You can shoot 3-gun every weekend pretty much.
If you you just have to drive a little bit maybe. Or stay.
Not bad though. Like you got to drive for all this stuff. If I was going to shoot IPSC, I could go to Phoenix, which is close, but they only do like a couple of matches a year. After that, I have to drive to Tabor. Bonneville's running 1 or 2 matches this year. That's a short drive for me at 2.5 hours. I think Grand Prairie is running one that's 5 hours for me. They're all like 3 to 5 hours drive from me, and I'm kind of central. I'm central Alberta, kind of Edmonton. If you're in Calgary, there's probably more options for IPSC.
Yeah.
Anyways, enough about IPSC and 3-gun, although they're lots of fun.
You're talking about driving 3 hours. I'm going, I remember my last Calgary drive. 45 hours. Did I tell you about it?
Well, your starting position was a little bit different. And you took the milk run too.
I did. Or we did.
Yeah, there was a couple stops along the way that you guys had there.
Well, I had one overnight and that was it. Me first.
Did you guys drive straight to Calgary? No, you guys did matches on the way, didn't you?
Yeah, we drove straight.
Oh my God. Is it 45 hours to drive?
Yeah, 45 hours from my place. And somebody was driving, somebody was navigating, somebody was sleeping in the back seat. 45 hours. You also have to take into account time change. So that was why it was 45 hours.
Did you pass like a date line or something like that as well?
Which we went
add a day in there.
3 time zones. 2 time zones. 3 time zones. 3. Yeah. It was fun. It was really fun. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about an event. One of our listeners, Luke Godin, he sent me a message and said, Kelly, can you put this on? I said, sure, no problem. Mm-hmm. So the New Brunswick Sportsman Show is happening tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, and it's going to be happening at the Moncton Coliseum. So go on by the CCFR booth and say hello to Luke Godin and some of our other listeners as well. Go over there and say hi to them and go and get a CCFR membership as well. And say thank you very much for protecting our rights or trying to protect our rights.
And if you're in the Calgary area, head on down to the Calgary
show
this weekend. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, cool.
That's this weekend. It's big.
Yeah, that was the big one.
Big old warehouse. Good jillion things to look at. Yep.
Yeah, that's the one you lined up for hours at, isn't it?
Yeah. I didn't line up for 4 hours. I don't think it was 4 hours. Maybe it was. I can't remember. All I remember is showing up early, and like the guys I was going with, they're like, we got to get there early. I'm like, you guys are crazy. What are you talking about? And we got there, and it's like ungodly early. And I'm like, oh man, what are we even doing here? And there was a pretty decent lineup. And it just got longer. And by the time the doors open, I took a look and it was like, oh, good thing we got here early.
All right. I'm choking. Keep talking.
Okay. Matthew and Trevor are going to be hosting a Furlachi Fundamentals and Beyond Fundamentals. They put the mental in fundamental and the fun in fundamental. Probably not. On May 4th and 5th at the Thomaston Corner Shooting Range near Fredericton, New Brunswick. Somewhere in New Brunswick.
Well done.
It's all the same place. It's in Newfoundland. To register or for more information, please email slamfireradio@gmail.com.
Yes. I'm still choking, but oh well.
On to new gun stuff.
Yeah.
Calgary Shooting Center has now I gotta share my screen on this thing because it is just the weirdest looking thing that you've ever seen. 1 second. Thing there shares my screen. No, not that one. That one. And then take a look at this weird thing. So it's this thing right here. It mounts to the dust cover to the rail on the bottom, and it is a compensator. So they call it a standoff device or something like that. Look at that.
So
Just kind of like sits over the front of your gun. Isn't that weird?
it is. So it's got so it's got cutouts, but it's also got
kind of a comp on there. So I don't know how effective the comp is, but it's very neat. And you could install this without any modifications to your Glock.
Okay.
But I think this would ruin trying to find a holster for it.
Yep.
Again, I'm not sure about how effective it actually would be compared to a threaded barrel with a break on it.
Right. But it reduces the flipperosity.
And it's pretty neat. Like, it's a pretty neat concept. Again, I don't think I would use one, but it's a super neat concept and a really interesting way of doing a Glock.
Okay. What do you got next?
Mystic Precision has a write-up on shooting 1,200 yards with the BCL 102. But that's the uses the title, but it's kind of a bait and switch because it's like saying, oh yeah, 0 to I did a quarter mile in a Honda Civic in 13 seconds. It had a turbo and nitrous and funny car wheels, and oh, by the way, I actually just removed the engine entirely and put a different one because this BCL is like super modified. They ran a McGowan barrel with a bolt that was hand fitted for headspace just to that barrel.
Really?
And installed. This is Jerry from Mystic Precision that he did the write-up. I'm not sure if he did the rifle or what the thing was there. Ran it in 6.5 Creedmoor, and lo and behold, put an Amazeball's barrel onto an AR-10 with a bolt that's hand fitted to the barrel extension, and they're pretty accurate. Weird. Yeah. So, but they were shooting it out to 1,200 yards, right? So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I wonder what the whole thing cost. And then,
good.
Tenda has a couple of pistols here for sale. I just wanted to mention. One of them was they had Beretta 92S surplus pistols for $430. So if you really like the Beretta 92 look, and I think the S has that stupid heel magazine release. One second, let me take a look here. I can't see from that angle.
It's got the little tab on. Yep.
Yes, it's got the heel magazine release. So not something to run a 3-gun or IPSC match with, but if you want an inexpensive Beretta 92, that's still a Beretta 92. Check those out. $430. Gotta love that deal. And then they had something. I really like Walther P1s. I really like them. I think they're like such a cool operating system on them, and just a decent grip and all that kind of stuff for essentially like a pretty old pistol. Yeah. They have some unissued ones.
Really?
For $5.99. I don't really have a lot of milsurps right now, and I don't really care to collect stuff, but
that might be one that you might want to collect.
But if I buy it and then I shoot it, it's no longer like unissued because it was issued to me, and by PS I shot it a bunch.
Yeah. So what are you gonna do?
Maybe I should sell my Glock 34 and my Glock 17 and buy one of these because they're really neat. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't really need anything in the safe. I need to like clear a bunch of space out, make some room for some more review guns that people want to know about that there aren't really good reviews for online. I gotta do that. Anyways.
And then maybe buy this.
Yeah, and then maybe buy that. Yeah. There's always those little pockets on the safe door. You can stuff a pistol in there and it doesn't take up hardly any space, right?
It's not very big at all.
Yeah.
It's not big and chunky.
Yeah.
It's slim. It'll fit in there.
It's a tiny little milsurp gun. How many mags does it come with? Does it come with 2 mags?
Oh, I don't know. Just say yes.
8-round magazine capacity, comes with 1 original. I don't know. That $600 is all of a sudden too expensive for me.
It's a deal breaker?
Yeah, good thing. I know I just need to make an excuse not to buy it.
Yeah.
Only 1 mag. Oh, I need at least 5 to run IPSC. So, sorry.
You're not going to be using it for IPSC.
Yeah, that's got to be production, right? Production legal?
Yeah, maybe.
Gotta be. They gotta have the Walther P1 in there.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
All right, why don't we talk about our main topic tonight? We were thinking about it. Trevor's getting a new truck, or maybe I should have let him say that. You got a brand new car last night as well. So, you want to introduce what we were talking about tonight for main topic?
Going to and from the range, kind of. How you load guns, which vehicles are best for range trips, best range vehicles other than tanks, which would of course be the best if you had like a
trump everything.
Yeah. Ride quality out there would probably be really bad.
But you can ride over everything.
Yes, you can. And you could go down range and set up your targets, and it doesn't matter how muddy it is.
No, that's true.
Why don't we talk about what kind of vehicles we've used to go to the range, which vehicles were best suited for it. I'll talk about mine. My range is 50-minute drive.
Yep.
So there's some kilometers involved there. So something with a little bit of highway, like better highway mileage, is a good thing because you're going to be using. That should be easy to figure out. Just call it 100 kilometers, 5 liters, $10, $10 there, $10 back, kind of a thing in terms of gas. If you've got like a really fuel efficient car, or 20 and 20 if you don't have a fuel efficient car. So if I had a regular vehicle that wasn't very fuel efficient, I would be spending $20 gas there, 20 back. And that's kind of where I was with the Jeep Patriot, actually. So that's like a compact SUV kind of a thing. The advantages with that: fold down the rear seats, stack in as much guns and junk as you want to, kind of a thing in there.
Yep. Disadvantages: you folded down the back seat and you stuffed as many guns and stuff in there, and people could see.
Yeah, and people you've got that happening. And as well, if you were to, let's say you keep one of those seats up and you run a third person in the back. Now you also, it's like a big open cabin area in the back, and you've got like heavy tins of ammo and a bunch of heavy stuff that if you got in an accident, are probably going to brain someone. Like your big ammo tin full of that's 50 pounds with ammo in it, it's probably going to kill someone in an accident, right? If you've got that unstrapped down kind of sitting in the back. So I think that's another disadvantage of one of those hatchbacks is flying debris in an accident would probably kill someone.
So I have a car, so I lock a lot of my stuff in the trunk, and I have a 60/40 seat as well, where I can put one side down and put
guns
rifle cases that are bigger through if I need to. I don't generally have to do that. My cases can generally sit in the back or the trunk, and I can
go sideways.
Yeah, I can close the trunk and nobody sees it and travel. But the bad part about that is there's not as much room as, let's say, a truck or an SUV. Good thing about it is I can, if you're not supposed to, if I need to, I can stop along the way and pick something up and not have to worry about people.
Well, I mean, yeah,
my car.
That's going to happen with hunting rifles and that kind of thing. Going out to the range or heading out, you'll be traveling with them, and to put them in a locked trunk is secure and is not a super inviting target for theft because there's nothing visible, right? Or the stuff that's visible inside the car is like other nonsense, right? Like bags and
I have my bags in the back seat,
range bins and that kind of thing.
Mats. Or what about? So what are the Trevor's going to be getting a truck. So what's the pluses and minuses of getting a truck?
Unstoppable amounts of room. I've got a cart for a 3-gun. Like a shooting cart. It's a baby cart that's been retrofitted for a 3-gun. The only realistic way of using something like that is if you have a pickup truck, because that would take up the trunk in most vehicles. In my Jeep, that would be like the entire cargo space. In a pickup truck, it's just another thing sitting in the box, and no problem. You just keep adding a bunch of stuff on there, right? If a lot of the pickup trucks these days have like big crew cabs in them, so you can fit 5 full-grown adults in those things, and you've got the box for as long as your guns are padded well in good quality cases, like Nanook cases.
Yeah.
they're going to be fine in the back. So you can run just a pile in the box of the truck and drive out to the range. And, you know, if you've got to go through some gravel roads like I do, as long as your cases are dust proof, you don't have to worry about your guns getting that like grime heading into the cases and that kind of thing on your drive over. I would say like the disadvantages to a truck is that the fuel mileage is not going to be as
Horrible.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the newer ones have okay fuel mileage on some of them. And if you stop anywhere, you got to take all these guns, take them out of the box of the truck and put them into the cab of the truck so you can lock it up, or you can lock it up with like a tonneau cover or something like that.
Right.
I don't think those are as secure. I
They're
don't
not.
think those are as secure as like putting it in the vehicle.
No.
But then like you got an A&W or something like that, and you're taking a bunch of gun cases out of the box of a truck to put it into the cab. Like anyone with eyeballs is going to be able to see what's going on there, right?
Yes.
So there's that to think about. But if you and a bunch of buddies get in a pickup truck and drive out to a match, you can save a bunch of money because there's only one person driving and not 3 or 4. And you can just put all the guns in there, and like trucks are comfortable to ride in. They've generally got pretty comfy seats, and you can do those road trips pretty comfortably.
Yeah. Now another downside is everybody's going to call you when they need to move. So
that's the disadvantage. Yeah. Hey, I got this washing machine. need to go bring it out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll do you one better then.
Okay.
The ultimate range vehicle is a Dodge Caravan.
Why?
All the people you want to take to the range, you can put in a Dodge Caravan. I've taken 7 people out to the range before in my Caravan. Yep. The guns will fit in a little cargo area in the back there. If you get a Grand Caravan, it's got about, I don't know, a couple feet of cargo space in the back. And some gun cases will go right underneath the seats.
The seats.
Yep.
Okay.
So I've taken 7 people and like 5 guns and ammo and all that kind of stuff. And just, it all goes into the minivan and it all heads out there. And the gas mileage is pretty good. You won't pick up any chicks on the way. It won't look very cool.
It's a tactical soccer van,
but very inexpensive and pretty comfortable to ride in too, right? Like a minivan is a decent vehicle to kind of head around in.
No, not really.
No, but the seats are comfortable and it's a big cube.
It's a big cube.
Not as cool as a pickup truck. You know what? The thing is, though, if I pull out my rear seats, I've got the floor space of a pickup truck's bed in the back of that van, and it's enclosed. Yes. So I don't need a tonneau cover. I've got the space that I could leave rifles in there or whatever, and
But with a truck, you aren't limited to the space itself. So if you're somebody who does props, 3-gun, PRS, whatever, you can load up the back of it with all kinds of different props and help
with stage setup. You can't do stage setup with a minivan. Nope. Not without your wife getting really mad at you.
Nope. We took a Jeep Patriot on the road trip out west and also out east, and we're going to do that probably again this year as well. It's not the best with respect to room. It works for 3 people, but if you put 4 people in that plus all of your equipment, we generally put the guns in the Jeep as opposed to putting it into the trailer. We don't like it sloshing around in the trailer, although most of the stuff in there is pretty tied down or there's not much room in there. So the Jeep works. Maybe a little bit bigger of an SUV would have been nice as well to give us a little bit more room, but it worked for 3 people, 4 people, not going to work at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a matter of sizing it correctly for the amount of people and kind of what you need. I think, yeah, I was thinking about this because I was looking at a vehicle and Trevor was talking about his trucks there, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, do I need a pickup truck? I mean, they're pretty inexpensive these days. You can get an F-150 or something like that for okay pricing. But I go to the range with 5 guns and I usually have 1 or 2 passengers max, kind of a thing.
Right.
And I can do that I was doing that in the Jeep. I would never, for the cargo space, I would never be like above the seat level. I'd never be packing it to the roof, because it's like packing it to the roof and now you got to unpack it. It's kind of a pain in the butt. So like given the cargo space that I needed there, like a trunk would be the same thing for me. And a regular car would get like much better fuel mileage. So that's why that's why I thought car instead of another Jeep Patriot or something.
So
like
tell
that,
us what you ended up purchasing last night.
Kia car that was inexpensive.
You don't really sound happy about that, though.
I just don't care. I just wanted something reliable that I could put a ton of miles on that would have really good fuel mileage. And yeah, and that's all I cared about.
Fuel mileage, but also be able to carry all your crap.
Yeah. The trunk on this thing is like decent. It's a Forte. It's got a decent trunk. It's got Android Auto, so you can like plug it in and it'll play podcasts and that kind of thing. And you can yell at it and tell it to do stuff and it'll do it. So
I need a new car.
You can do that with a Navigator. If you have a Navigator, you just yell at them. Say, hey, play some podcasts. Hey, Navigator.
Wake up. You're supposed to be keeping me awake.
Yeah. Oh, and this thing keeps me in the lane automatically.
Yeah. I didn't know if
I
tried
you can take a little nap. A little cat nap.
Oh.
Probably not a good idea. On the way out to those matches, we got to drive like 5 hours.
5 hours. Have a nap along the day.
Cruise control, lane guidance, take a cat nap.
Right. Originally, when we were talking about this, we started talking about trunk guns, and then we said, everybody's getting cars. Why don't we talk about cars or trucks and what's most beneficial for us to go to the range with?
Do you do a trunk gun?
No, I'm in the city. The other reason I don't do trunk guns is because of the fact of where I work every day. I'm not allowed on the property with any type of firearms. So I have to make sure everything is out of my trunk. So no, I don't do any.
Yeah. If I was out in the countryside, I would, but I'm also in the city and I just don't see the need. I think, someone steals my car or something like that. Now it's like, oh, by the way, I left a WK-180 in the back there. What? It's kind of an AR-15. There's a couple of mags in there too somewhere. It's like, oh, I wouldn't want to have that conversation with the police. And like, you're going to find it. Here's a picture of it. It's it's very nice, high quality. It's for my website, but yeah, I wouldn't want to have that conversation. And my realistic possibility of being able to use that thing for something versus it just being a pain in the butt and being in the way, and me wanting to throw something silly in the trunk and it being in the way is too high. I mean, personally, I probably wouldn't concealed carry either if it was legal here in Canada, just because I just don't need to. I'm not in a dangerous part of the city. I can appreciate that other people would want to, and I support that. I would support them. I wouldn't myself. I mean, my wallet is. Have you seen my wallet? It's like it's a FedEx envelope that's been folded down, so it's like this thin because all it's got is cards in it. And that's because I will not carry a wallet around because I hate having lots of stuff in my person, in my pockets. My keys are like minimalized. I don't have like a big keychain or anything like that. So for me to say like, oh yeah, I cut everything else down, but I'd totally concealed carry a pistol. Like, nah, I wouldn't. No. But I support everyone else's ability to do so.
To do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, I would. If it was legal, I would carry a 22 pistol and go grouse hunting with it. That's the only use I could that I'd be like, yeah, I want to do that, right?
The last week's show, I mentioned a little bit, but from when Jordan Bonaparte was on, I listened to all 5 of the podcasts that he had with Lindsay on it, and I was thinking about it. Like, I'm totally supportive of anybody who wants to conceal carry. If they want to do it, go ahead. Would I do it? I don't know. But then I thought about it after her and what she said with respect to, no, you, Kelly, I'm thinking to myself, Kelly, you're the target.
You were the target because she was talking about you?
Yeah. So I'm going, there's no way in hell that I'm going to go and just sit there and lay down. And do you know what I mean? So I would like to be able to protect myself. Now, that being said, I've also gone and done some courses where if I'm not armed, I can probably protect myself as well, or if I need to. So yeah, I advocate for that.
I mean, if the mass if mass shootings and stabbings and that kind of thing continue to be an issue, I think what's going to happen is that people are going to be training themselves, or at least getting the idea that attacking the attacker is the better option. Like one of the reasons why hijacking an airliner these days would be a really risky proposition for a terrorist is because as soon as people see you doing that, people are going to try to stop you because they realize if they don't stop the hijacker, they might fly the airplane into something, right?
Right.
So I think
it's this whole evolution. Like we're getting really, really off topic, but this whole evolution. I was thinking about writing into Jordan as well. There's people that are writing in and they're writing love letters to this woman, and then they're also. It's kind of like we're seeing more and more of it, and there's a type of person that's doing more and more of it. So,
the really squirrel off in the woods place I was at was I think more people will start to fight back or start to see that they have to fight back. So, the mass shooter in New Zealand, if two or more people decided to fight back and attack that guy from opposing angles, he would have been toast. It would have been stopped right there. And I think that there was,
after the New Zealand, there was a good article. I think I'll see if I can find it. It's a video. It's somebody who is special forces, and he says basically, if this is going to continue to happen, people need to be armed to be able to fight back. So I might post it once I find it again. But that being said,
even disarmed, if two people had attacked him, one of them would have bit a bullet, but the other one would have got him down, and it would have been over.
Right.
Yeah.
So I took a course with Brian Bolivar and Kevin. It was the Active Killer Defense course. I took that. I also have done some Krav Maga as well here in Kingston. And I think you need to do it. I needed to do it basically because of, again, where I work. I think it's important, but also because of the fact that knowledge is power, and being able to do that. Because we are, as Canadians, we're very docile and we don't have firearms on us. So if something does happen, and we're seeing it more and more, I think we're going to see it even more as time goes as well. So
yeah, I mean they'll have to change the formula somehow. They'll have to change something that's causing these people to do these things. Either the denial of coverage, of media coverage, or something that like takes off some of the reasons why these people do these kinds of things.
Yeah.
I mean the obvious one is access to mental health is another thing that needs to just vastly improve to reduce the possibility of this kind of things happening.
And people being aware of it, family, friends reporting it as well. That needs
like one of the issues like here in Canada is that like with regards to mental health, unless they are an explicit danger to themselves or to people around them,
there's nothing.
There's not really a lot that people can do. They have to voluntarily go. So and let's say they go to their general practitioner and they try to get a recommendation for a psychiatrist. It's going to take 3 months. Like there's a huge waiting period in Canada here for mental health, and in the meantime, that person could go do something crazy, right?
Yep.
So it's there's a definite need for better mental health resources here in Canada.
Yes, there are,
and that relates to vehicles.
Because
somehow, we went on 2 or 3 little rabbit holes there.
We got down one and just didn't get back up. Okay,
no, we didn't get back to it.
So go back
because someone with mental health issues could just as easily rent a truck. There we go.
A cube van and
yeah. There we go. Finally, we're back around.
Okay, so that was so squirrely. Have you been paying attention on YouTube?
I am on there right now.
Okay.
Let's see here. There weren't too many questions just yet. Mailman New Brunswick said, "Wait, stop the show. The wife wants me to run to the store." I told him, "Don't worry. We're recording this just for you." And he'll be able to get the recording afterwards.
Yeah.
Judge Grimrod was saying, "Burnout's real. 20% of the work, 20% of the people do 80% of the work. Take care of yourself." I mean, the nice thing is 20% is like, well, there aren't 20%. Yeah, you don't have those kinds of numbers. There's 5 of you, right? Yeah.
But
There's,
But that being said, we have some great IITs like you, Adriel, who are taking on extra work. And I'm very happy and excited that Greg May is also taking over some of the mentoring on the IIT page. So that means that it frees stuff up for us as well.
Yeah, I really like what he's doing with the events and popping those all in there so that you guys can see who you've got for it. It's a really good idea.
I'm so excited. We did that last year as well, but it was as we went. And so we asked Greg about that. What we're talking about, guys, is we have a super secret page.
It's just a way of getting volunteers to your matches. So your shoots, right? So your shoots are now all on the back end. People can find it and flag whether they're interested in it or not.
So we're doing it early, and so people can plan their vacations if they even need to plan vacation days or what have you, so that they can attend these. Because if they can be there, it means that we can get more people trained, and more people trained mean that just like who was it? 20%. Who said that?
20% of the people do 80% of the work. It's your Pareto principle, 20-80 kind of a thing.
No. Who said it on YouTube?
Judge Grimrod.
Oh, I have no idea.
I don't know who that is.
So, anyways, thanks.
Yeah. Brent was saying, "Hey, you guys should come out to this area," and Greg's talking to them, so I think he's got that handled. You've got Maple Cedars moderators in the comments who they're working already.
We're going to at some point get out there. Brent wants us up in northern BC, so at some point we'll be there.
Yeah, and that's it for YouTube comments.
Okay. Listener feedback. We don't have any, but I do want to tell you who sponsors it because they're pretty awesome for sponsoring us. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakoting finishes, as well as wood finish refinishing. Check him out. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca, or you can also follow him on Facebook or on Instagram as well. I do.
We have a listener feedback. I don't think we read this one.
Oh, which one is it?
About what's wrong with SIG?
No.
Yes.
Did we not read that one?
No, it's 6 days ago, so I can read it.
No, we didn't. Why don't you read it then?
Steve says, caught your episode about belts and it was very informative. Even better were the mentions on websites. I was looking around a few of them and noticed they lack holsters for SIG P226. No worries, I was able to order a Safariland, but it's going to take 2 months to get it. Just wondering what's wrong with SIG. Are they not used in IPSC or 3-gun? Great show as usual, Steve.
I missed that one.
There's got to be 226 holsters out there. Like, it's a very popular platform. It's a popular pistol out there. I would say it's not a fantastic gamer gun for IPSC or anything like that. For 3-gun, it would be fine.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of the guys that run the Nork MP34, whichever the 9mm version of the SIG copy there. Your other option, if you're waiting 2 months, that's too long. Pick up
I wondered why it's taking 2 months.
I don't know. I mean, Safariland. I wonder if that GLS would work with a SIG, the 579. They've got this.
One?
Yeah, so they got that universal holster that could work with the SIG, and then maybe you've got something that's active retention, and that grip lock mechanism, which is fantastic. I ran that this weekend. I actually did a bunch of dry fire with my pistol with that holster. And it's great. I was running it my Shadow 2 in it. Yeah, it's so good. I don't even like with the thumb drive. I had that Glock one with it had a really small tab on it.
Yep.
And that one wasn't very good.
Inside?
Yeah, I had also a Glock 19 holster that had big thumb grip, but I don't have a Glock 19, so I sold it to a listener in New Brunswick.
Okay.
But the Safariland grip one, you don't even have to think about it. You just grab the gun. And it comes out magically, and it doesn't come out when you don't want it to, which is also magic and fantastic.
And it saves you a lot of penalty points.
Yeah, the disqualification. Yeah, if you drop a gun, that's it for you.
You're done.
Yeah, but no, I really like that holster. I think I kind of wish that I had gotten that one before a lot of my other holsters because the active retention's really good on it. and it works with a bunch of different guns. And I wouldn't have 6. Yeah. So I'd recommend that one, Steve. If you're looking around for a holster for your SIG and you can't find one. I mean, the other thing is there's gotta be a Blade Tech holster somewhere in Canada for a 226, right?
Yeah.
Like Wild West has them, I know for sure. Well, not for sure. I imagine they've got them because they've got a wall of Blade Tech holsters. Maybe check like Select Shooting Supplies. Maybe check who else has a bunch of Blade Tech stuff. Maybe some of the cop stores. There's some like police supply stores online, and they'd have to have some 226 stuff. Anyways, there's got to be stuff out there for you, Steve.
Thanks for reading that. I'm sorry, I missed it. Okay, if you'd like to email the show, you can email the show at slamfireradio@gmail.com. And again, we'll answer to anything, really.
Almost anything.
Almost anything. We don't have any podcast reviews, so if you're interested, send us a little bit of a podcast review on any of the platforms that are out there, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, or we're now on Spotify, I guess. You set us up on that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
and I mean, even if you don't have one of those apps, email us. Let us know what you think, how you think the show could be improved. If there's anything where you're like, man, that really annoyed me, let us know so we can make it better.
I was thinking about this. This show is pretty much about nothing. So it's like the Seinfeld show. And so there's 4 of them. There's Elaine, who's the woman. There's George. There's Jerry Seinfeld. And then there's Kramer. Which one are you? I'm Elaine.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, yeah. I don't know. I haven't watched enough Seinfeld episodes to even know like what the characters are supposed to be and which one I embody. Which one am I? You can't say I'm the short bald one just because I'm bald. Or maybe you can. Maybe that's just the easiest. You had to be Elaine because you're the female. So am I the bald guy because I'm bald?
That just makes Matthew the crazy one that keeps doing the weird entrances, and he's skinny too. So I guess he's Kramer, and yeah, I guess Trevor's Seinfeld. It's a show about nothing. Okay.
Matthew's more of a comedian than Trevor is.
He is more of a comedian. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Shoutouts. Do you have a shoutout?
They're like, we had a pile of new shooters at Chaz. This like again, first match of the year. A pile of new shooters, and there were some really lots of listeners. Guys coming up and saying, "Hey, Adriel," and like, I don't know this person. I've never met them before.
You don't know,
but they're real familiar with me, and some of them were from show listeners, and a bunch of really great shooters, great guys, and really cool to meet a bunch of new 3-gun competitors, a bunch of guys who haven't done competitive shooting before, and this was the first time, and I loved seeing all the new people out there trying it and falling in love with competitive shooting.
Yeah, just go out, have fun. You'll fall in love with it.
Yeah,
and you'll be back. Okay, I'm just going to say I'm going to give a shout out to all of those people that I mentioned a little bit earlier. So Greg May, you, Adriel, as well as the rest of the IITs, and also the rest of the Maple Seed crew. I'm going to be seeing them this weekend, everyone except for Stacy. So I'm looking forward to that. But I just want to say thank you, guys. It's been lots of fun, and I'm looking forward to the rest of this year as well, because of the fact that we're going to spend a lot of time together. So it's going to be, that's it. Patreon supporters, we were at 83. If we don't have anybody that's a new supporter this week, if you'd like to support us, you can go onto our Slamfire Radio website, and it's there's a tab there that you can click on. You can support us anywhere from $1 and up. It's helpful. It gets us, or it allows us to put content out every week, and we also put out special shows. We had one was it last week? We had one.
Yes.
Okay. So last week, and we do it once a month. We put some special content out to our Patreonies that other people can't have. So I wanted to say thank you about that. We also ship out stickers and patches, and we have brand new ones that Adriel's been shipping out to people. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
If you haven't got one, email the show again.
Right.
Actually, email me, adriel@3gun.ca.
Ooh, look at that.
That's the shortest one I got. That's an easy one.
Adriel.
ADRIEL@3gun.ca, and I'll send a patch.
Okay. Well, that's it. So join one of our national firearms associations, such as the CCFR. Stop by their booth in Moncton at the Moncton Coliseum this weekend. Go out
or Calgary.
Calgary.
Wherever that is. BMO Center, I think.
Is it? Okay. Check us out on Gunners Canada. Chat with us there as well. I try and go on there at least once a week or twice a week. So
dutifully.
Yeah. So chat us up on there. Also, give us a like on Facebook. Right now it's a palindrome. Look at that. Palindrome. So we're at 2,112 as of today.
That's not a palindrome though. Palindrome should be like 2112.
That's true.
Not 2,112.
Well, it's forward, backward, same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever. Say goodnight, Adriel.
Good night, Adriel.